All right, you can see we are getting ready to start the molding. I'm actually in the closet right now. We're going to start in here. I figure if I make any mistakes, it'll be in the closet before I get primed up and back to doing molding correctly in the bonus room. So we're starting here first. We're going to get this piece done. So you can also see that I've got a template right, a template left, and a couple of other pieces here. And you'll also notice that this piece here is straight flat against the wall. A lot of times when people put molding in, the tendency is to create a 45-degree angle against this edge. I don't have a piece to show you, but you'll have to imagine it. And then join those two together at the corner to give you your perfect angled cut. The problem with that is, and this is just based on my experience and noticing what the contractors did in this house and in the previous house that we had, is when you create a 45-degree angle, meaning that it's cut at an angle here and then this side's also cut, you get that seam that comes down the middle and then you have to caulk that. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as you get the exact cut perfect. Most of the time, or I don't want to say very often, but a lot of times you don't have that perfect cut, meaning that when you join the two together, there's usually like a small gap there. And then when you get that gap, you have to spend a lot of time filling it in with caulk. And then, of course, going back over it and having to repaint it. And there is a much easier way to solve that issue, to remediate that, and that is to come in straight to the wall just like I have there, and then with the piece that's going against here, I have this little template, and what I would do here is I would take that template and I would outline this, draw it with a pencil, and just jigsaw out this piece here. And what'll happen is when this piece sits up against the wall like this, you get a very clean corner. And then all you have to do here is caulk it. And there's no gap here because the corner is all filled in already from this piece. So you just caulk it and you paint over it and it's done. Whereas, again, opposed to the other way where you're going in at an angle, you have the gap that goes all the way up. If you're not perfect, you're gonna see that. Then you gotta go back in and re-caulk it, repaint it. And it just takes up a lot of time. This is so much cleaner. When I learned this from the previous house, or even taking the molding off some of the projects here, that this is the way to do it. And that's what we're going to do. So we're gonna start here. I will give you another update and show you what that looks like when we get this piece into place. And we'll go from there. So until next time. All right, as you can see here, we've got our molding piece in the corner. You can see how clean that corner piece is when it butts up against this piece here. There is a little blemish here I've got to fill in with some spackling, but that has nothing to do with the cut that we made to make that corner very nice and clean. Over here on this other side, I also did the same thing, but you can see here I made a little bit more of a mistake. I've got a larger gap in here and didn't do a good job cutting on the corner piece here for that. However, there's a silver lining here. If you'll notice, the gap is against the wall here, not centered down the center. And that's going to be a lot easier to fill in with caulking or even spackling if I want to just fill that piece in. But I think the caulking is going to look just fine in there. It'll fill it in. And once I paint over that to hide that, you won't even notice that. So that's the advantage again of making the corner piece here angled into your piece against the adjacent wall. And we're gonna do that continuously throughout the room. I just have to get a little bit better with my jigsaw cuts. You can see I left some marks here. Those will come off with the paint or just rubbing it off with steel wool or something like that, or sandpaper. So we are going to continue on, and that is the goal throughout the rest of the room for all the molding, and we will give you an update here shortly. All right, you can see I have finished the molding in the closet, and it came out really good. If you look over here at this corner, really tight fit using that method I explained earlier. Very easy caulking. Conversely, got a larger gap over here against the molding. I'm going to leave that there and just fill it in with caulk and or spackling. Didn't do a very good job cutting there, but however, you're never going to see that. It's behind this door, it's in the closet, and the caulking, I'll just have to do a little bit of extra work to get that to look pretty decent. So we're okay on that one also. So with that, I'm going to take me about 45 minutes to do this entire room here, this little closet, and we are going to rinse and repeat with all of the other molding throughout the bonus room. So the next update here will be with all of the base molding completed without the quarter round on it. And we'll get to that here shortly. So until next time. All right, we have completed all of the molding in the bonus room and in the closet, as you can see. And I've also started moving some of the tools and equipment back into storage areas. As we are winding down the project, we are not going to need a lot of these tools anymore. So they are going to start going back to their original homes and toolboxes. But we also wanted to clear the space out so we can get ready to hang the door, take care of the lighting up top with the fans that are sitting over there, and just clearing the space out because we are so close to being done with the project. But I wanted to show you all the molding here. That was the focus here. And you can see there's a couple of areas here where we had to make some adjustments to the seams because of the unevenness of the walls a little bit. Even though they're straight, the molding going on sometimes, and when it overlaps, it gets a little bit uneven. So I just had to sand those down so we can get the quarter round in, and here's a good example of that. So I just wanted to make that seam even. It's all going to be painted over and caulked, and you won't even notice that once it's done. But you can see in a couple of different places we use that method I talked about earlier, where the one piece goes all the way up straight against the wall, and we have the template that we use to make that corner piece. And all I have to do is fill that in with caulk, and that will look pretty nice. So overall, really happy with it. The room's looking fantastic. If you look at this view, as you can see, it's looking great. And we are going to continue on. With that, we are going to be able to close this series out and call it a day for the molding piece. So until next time, peace out.